Hello everyone, my name is Lisa and I'm the Viet Vegan because I'm Vietnam vegan. You're getting a new sort of perspective into my kitchen because I'm trying something new. I'm gonna cook along and we'll see how it goes. You guys can let me know in the comments if you like this. Today we're making like a home style sort of meal that I would eat growing up. I'm feeling a little homesick right now, and in terms of homesick, like I obviously love my home, but I miss my family, I miss my mom, I miss my brother, and I miss like eating our meals together, and I miss that sort of like family sort of style meal, which like I can make here. Obviously I'm gonna do that, but Eddie doesn't really eat it the same way that I do, and it's not as like, it's not the same, you know? So I'm gonna make 3 dishes, which are, well, are they dishes? I don't know. 2 of them are definitely dishes. One of them is whatever. So the first thing I'm gonna make is, I described this in my last video, is like a mushy eggplant sort of recipe. I'm going to measure it so that you have like a rough recipe. It is not appealing in color whatsoever. It does not look good. That's probably why I can't find any recipes online for it, because it just looks like a gray pile of mush. But I swear it's delicious. And that's like one of my favorite meals growing up. Like I would just eat it up. Like I just eat it with rice and it was so good. The other thing that I'm gonna try to make is Thịt, which is like braised pork belly and with eggs. None of that is vegan, but I'm gonna try making it instead with some tofu, which I'm gonna cut into like blocks, so it's like kind of like pork belly, some mushrooms so we have like some umami texture, and then some vegan shrimp. I was gonna make gan with vegan shrimp and this mustard, but I don't really feel like doing that today. And instead what I'm gonna do is I'm going to like blanch some of this and eat it with fermented bean curd. It was such a lazy meal that my mom would make for us. Like it would be one of the side dishes, and it just like reminds me of home, and it just like makes me feel good when I eat it. So I'm gonna do that. It's very veg focused. I'm gonna eat this with rice. So I'm gonna cook some rice on the side, and then I'm gonna cook, this is like the easiest part, I just blanch it. We'll see how it goes. This past week has been kind of intense. I haven't been as active as I probably should be. For the record, I do believe that Black Lives Matter, and I think that it's really important work that everyone should be doing, especially if you are lighter skinned, to like recognize and educate yourself on the movement. I have some resources in a highlight on my Instagram story if you guys want to check that out. It's like a little black heart. I have a couple posts on my feed that are related to Black Lives Matter. So that's probably something I might talk more about in a video later on. I just don't really feel super knowledgeable about it. Like I talk about intersectionality at like universities, at VegFest, and I briefly touch on Black Lives Matter as a part of the whole talk for intersectionality, because I think that like it's like a part of the bigger picture. There are obviously lots of vegan and Black voices out there that can better advocate for the cause because they are living it, they know it way better than I am. So I will direct you to some people down below where you can learn and educate yourself. But back to the food. I'm gonna start with the caw recipe. We're gonna first cut up this onion. I think that would be the wisest choice. It's a very juicy onion. Put all my food scraps in a bowl to organize myself and keep my workstation clean. If you hear babies outside, it's because my neighbors have twins that are a little unhappy. Is this onion bad? It's like juicy, but like on the inside. I think I'm gonna grab a new onion. Don't like that. I don't like the juicy on the inside part, okay? Try that again with a bigger onion this time. I apologize in advance for the excessive sneezing or sniffling, because it's June and the pollen is crazy and I have wild allergies, and I have taken an allergy pill, but it is not enough. So we've got our onion. I'm gonna pop that in the pot. Honestly, that's a little too much onion. I'm gonna use half of that, and I'm gonna take the other half and put it in another dish. That's more onion than I really want in there. I don't want it to be mostly onion, okay? So half the onion in here, half the onion here. I like that. I like that compromise, Lisa. So I'm gonna turn on the heat, add a little bit of oil. It's not coming out very much, but it's like about a teaspoon of oil. And we're gonna stir fry that, or we're gonna cook that until she goes a little translucent, you know? Rice is cooking, we're good to go. So that has started to like go a little translucent, which is fine. I'm gonna add the mushrooms. So these are some king oyster mushrooms. It's like half a cup, not even, like there's not that many, but I just wanna use up some. Should I chop these up more? Yeah, I think I should, sorry, just kidding. Just so they're not like giant pieces. So yeah, we've got like a half cup of mushrooms. I'll put it in here. I'm going to chop up this tofu. And I basically want these tofu blocks to be like chunks of braised pork. So I'm gonna cut them into cubes. I think 3. Yeah, so kind of like this. So I chopped each of those blocks into 9. Yeah, so it's like a 1-inch cube situation. I'm gonna give this a taste because, yeah, that's kind of sweet. So I don't think I really want to use more sugar than that. So I'm gonna use a cup. I just deglazed the pot to like lift up some of the stuff from the bottom. So now the bottom is like clean, all that flavor is up in the food. I'm gonna use some fish sauce. Obviously this is vegan fish sauce. I found it at B&T's in Kitchener. 1, let's do 3. That's gonna be like umami, funky flavor. We're gonna, oh my God, it smells like it already, holy moly. I'm also gonna add a teaspoon of salt. Yeah, a teaspoon of salt. Mix that in. I'm gonna add the tofu. And do I cut the shrimp? No, I think I leave it whole. Yeah, I leave those in. And then I'm gonna add the rest of this. Okay, so this color is like light brown. I think the longer I let it like braise and cook on the side, the darker it'll get and the tastier it'll be. So for now, I'm gonna put this on low on like another burner and I'm just gonna cook it longer over somewhere else. Whoa, it already kind of tastes like tikka. That's amazing. What? That tastes... Okay, it's like not there yet, obviously, but it's like so close. Whoa. Okay, wow. That's like amazing. That reminds me so much of home. I'm using this fish sauce. If you can find this, great. If not, just use soy sauce. Like it's not that big of a deal. I found it at like Asian grocery stores, especially if there is a big Buddhist population close by. I found it in Kitchener, like that bottle was from Kitchener. I found another bottle I don't have on me right now, but it's in glass at Montreal at like Herbivore Marché. My mom said to use dark soy sauce for color. She says mushroom flavored dark soy sauce. She calls it mushroom sauce, but it's dark soy sauce. I think I'm just gonna let it caramelize and we'll see how it goes. If I need the extra color, I'll add it, but like you can always add that in later. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna chill over there. Next, I'm gonna make the eggplant dish. Look at these beauties. So beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna just chop off the tops of these eggplants because I don't want this part. So we have our eggplants and then I'm gonna slice it in half. That's so beautiful. Eggplant is so pretty, don't you think? It's like purple on the outside and white on the inside. And then we're gonna cut them into, I think, yeah, slices like this. So about, let me find one that has purple on it so you can see it better. It's kind of like this thin, about like a 1/2 centimeter or like a 1/4 inch thick-ish. We're gonna preheat this pot and we're gonna use the onion that I had from before. Can you see this pot? Yeah, sort of. Again, about like a teaspoon of oil. So we're going to stir fry this. Wow, these already have started to like oxidize. That's fine, they're gonna be brown anyway. Oh my God, I'm so excited. This all like is so nostalgic and reminds me of home, which is kind of the point of the video. I'm just feeling feelings, okay? These onions are looking pretty translucent. They look pretty ready. Let's add the eggplant. Okay, so because I don't want it to burn, I'm gonna bring it down to a medium. And like eggplant releases a lot of liquid. So I'm gonna use some Golden Mountain soy seasoning. I'm gonna start off with 2 tablespoons. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to add a lot more, but for now, that's where we're starting. Lastly, I'm gonna prepare the steamed mustard. It's a little wilted. You wanna clean really well inside this part. So I'm gonna chop these up into like 1-inch pieces and chunks, and then I'm going to wash them. I'm gonna take out the yellow bits though, because I don't really wanna eat those. And then for the stem, I'm going to just roughly chop those in half. just so they cook a little faster. So we have this, and then I'm going to wash it. All right, to both of these dishes, I'm gonna add some dried chili flakes. Use as much as you want or don't want. I'm probably doing like a half teaspoon in the Thịt Kho and then half teaspoon in both. So I'm looking at this eggplant and it looks okay. I kind of wanted to cook down some more, but I'm gonna give it a little taste to see where we at for Flavor Flav. I'm tasting spice, not a lot of soy sauce flavor. So I'm gonna add another tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons. Because it does need some liquid to like kind of cook out of the bottom and deglaze the bottom. I've been using a bit of like a splash of water just to like deglaze the bottom, but it's gonna cook out anyway, so it's not super important. I'm gonna lower the heat a little bit and I'm just gonna let that continue to like stew. Meanwhile, oh my God, look how good this looks. I'm actually so excited. This actually looks so legit. And the liquid has really cooked down. It's not as savory as I remember it. I'm gonna turn off the heat because I think that's done, because that's like cooked out as much like juice as I want it to like cook out of. And the tofu looks like hella juicy, which looks great. I'm gonna let the eggplant keep cooking because I don't think it's quite there yet. So this is boiling. I'm gonna add the greens, the water. I'm gonna use my favorite spider basket. I'm gonna push those greens down and turn down the heat. So this liquid, it's probably like a lot more water than I meant to, but that's fine. So my mom would also like serve this liquid on the side. Like once it's cooked, it'll get like a green sort of color. We would like clean up our bowl. So we'd like spoon it into our bowl after we eat the rice with all the stuff to like clean the residue off the side of the bowl and then drink the broth or the water from this. I don't know if that's like something that everyone's mom did, but my mom super did this. So I'm gonna do that after and it's gonna be great. I think I'll just keep cooking this until this is done because it's looking pretty good so far. I find that Italian eggplant doesn't hold together as well as Japanese eggplant does. So like the skinny, long Japanese one would be better for this. But if you only have the Italian eggplant, like that is also super delicious and fine in this recipe. Use whatever you have access to. This is like what I would, like I grew up eating as like a child. There was always some sort of vegetable dish. If there weren't more vegetables, my mom would make this, and this is like our meat dish. And then you just eat it with rice. So this is the Thịt Kho. It's like sweet, savory, spicy, salty, very salty, but in like a good way. I remember eating this with egg. You'd cut it so that the juice, like the braised liquid would like soak into the egg yolk, and it was so good. I haven't been able to find something like that that fits the same purpose. I feel like maybe potato would be like somewhat similar. My mom says I need to use more dark soy sauce to get the color. I think the color is fine. Like I don't really care too much about the color. I think the flavor is what I was more invested in, but you can add like a little bit of dark soy sauce to like add that color if you can't caramelize it more, because I didn't feel like it. Okay, let's try the eggplant. So I added some green onion to it because otherwise it looks really terrible. Honestly, I remember it being even like juicier and softer, but I like this too. It's so like tender and like melts in your mouth. And savory, oh my God. So nostalgic. And then this here is bean curd. This is fermented bean curd, also known as Chinese cheese. Actually, if you guys are familiar with chow cheese, this is jiao. That's what that cheese is named after, which is this, which I always find kind of fun as a fun fact. I feel like I'm like in the know. And I basically like to eat my greens and rice with jiao. It's like a stinky fermented flavor, which is where that plays into cheese. I do find it really interesting that it's used in vegan cheese to like make it have that like stinky flavor. Honestly, I might even try experimenting making my own cheese and using that as like a flavor umami bomb. And then lastly, I have some of the broth. You can also flavor it with like a little bit of seasoning, like mushroom broth seasoning or even salt. I didn't do that today because there's a lot of salt in this and in this and a little bit in this. So I left this pretty bland because it's just like a palate cleanser. It tastes very vegetal. Unless you like that flavor, you probably are not gonna like it that much, but I don't know, this is like such a nostalgic meal for me, and this reminds me of home. Like basically we would eat it on like a platter. We would never have it just on like a table like this. Actually, this is my photography surface, so I don't usually like to eat on this because I don't want to get it dirty because it's plaster. That is the meal, and this is my comfort food and like how I used to eat as like a kid growing up. Our family dinners at home, my mom would make this every single night. Not like these specific dishes, but dishes like this. We would have like fish in some sort of soup, vegetable, and then for dessert we'd always have some sort of fruit. So I grew up eating a lot of like pomelo, mango, I don't know what it's called. I'll look it up and I'll put it here. This is what it looks like. It's like if you took a pear and a potato and put it together, and it has like really hard seeds. Or we'd have like soursop or rambutan or lychee. Like we didn't really have dessert, we just had fruit. The way that I ate growing up, my mom would make these like pretty amazing meals within like an hour, half an hour, an hour. She would like do all this work after working full time. Like I don't really understand how she managed to do that because like my dad didn't really help a lot. Like he would do like vacuuming, he would sometimes do dishes. That's all the housework that my dad ever did. So like my mom and I did the bulk of the housework. So like she would get me to like mop, clean, sweep, bring out laundry, do laundry. And she would do everything else and work and cook homemade meals every single day. I mean, it's a little late for Mother's Day, but thank you, Mom. I'm sorry that I couldn't see you because we are all in like self-isolation, but I made this because I miss you and this food reminds me of you. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this weird kind of style of video. It's not my usual kind, but I will share recipes for the Thịt and my mom calls this gatim sao, which is like stir-fried eggplant, which I don't feel like properly explains what this dish is. I feel like it's more braised eggplant, but I don't know what the verb is for braised in Vietnamese. And she just says it's sao, so okay, I'll believe her. I'll use what she says, but I'll translate it into what I believe the dish is. But I'm gonna eat this now. I hope you enjoy this. If you grew up eating like a Vietnamese style family dinner like this, let me know some of your favorite dishes that your family would make down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are all staying safe, doing what you can to open your mind and learn more about Black culture, Black history, and the events that are happening right now. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a delicious day. Bye.